Okay, so this is just fourth grade, but it's kind of how they scored overall. So you can kind of see, can you see anything that stands out?
Well,
Anything that
can
you
we see like the questions that were missed?
So I'm going to go to that one
awesome.
in just a
Good,
couple down, slide
Okay,
4.
good.
I mean, to me, it looks like a majority of the students passed, but
Well, what are we considering passing? 80%?
For grades.
that's what I was thinking grading scale, like
Yeah.
60 and above.
Yeah. I was like, okay, there's no one that scored, nobody that missed them all.
Right.
I thought that was, because in years you'll have kids that
Yes.
miss them all.
Yes.
So I thought that was, I thought that was a little bit of a celebration that there was nothing there. But you were concerned that just overall, it looks a little bit more on the.
It does. Like my data is, and like I guess the questions when I was looking at them, how are they scoring those short answer part where they have to describe how they know it was composite, how they know it was, what were they looking for,
Right.
That kind of thing. The multiple choice is obvious, but because the average to me is not satisfactory.
Is lower.
But if you're talking 60%, well then I'm fine. But to me, as the math teacher, I'm not.
Right.
That's not realistic. Like I
Right.
just can't imagine that would get.
Well, and
any
if
of
we
the
looked at
kids-
mastery of a standard, I would look at 80%
Yes.
before I retaught.
So is that something we should be looking even when we're grading papers? That 60% would be passing.
Well, I think we have that standard here that it's 80%
Okay.
for a standard. So if
Okay.
they don't score an 80% on a standard, then you're
Right.
going to reteach.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's,
That's my. I
But
just
these are
wanted to
brand
make
new.
Sure. Yeah.
So these are
I
brand
know.
new. So it's,
Yeah.
Okay, so then I broke it down just by class so that you could see the 4 individual classes. But like if you look at that,
They're all similar.
they all, this is in a PowerPoint, but you can hover over them, but they were all about 70, right on that little line of about 70% of the kiddos. And then I just broke it down one more time by ethnicity, just to look at, were there any significant gaps?
But look, our brown kids there's not a huge discrepancy, which, that's one of our specific goals as Audubon,
Right.
to making sure that there's not that huge gap between our
Well,
black and brown versus our,
so white was, I think, 73 point something,
Okay.
and then African American was 64.
okay.
So there's a little more gap than you quite,
But
quite
technically,
can tell, but still
that's
not.
that bad for the
it's not.
first go around.
No.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing that I did look at was gender, and females scored 67% on average, and the male scored 72% on average.
Which is typical.
Is
So,
it?
Yeah. Males usually always score higher when it comes to math.
Okay.
Even though I don't always think that that's true, but just in average and over the years, it just seems that data seems to be consistent.
so that's why I always try to think of what can we do to pump up the girls,
Right,
and
yeah.
what can we do for the gap with the African American students too. Okay, can we target those students at all? All right, here's the breakdown by the actual questions.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
when I was going through it, I knew we were going to be talking about question 1 and question 10. And already I see I didn't see number 6 though. Which one was number 6? I did not notice number 6 being a problem.
Yeah, 1 and 4 significant. You knew those ones were going to be
1 and 10.
1 and 10.
1 and 10, because those were the ones that my high flyers even missed. All the kids that got a 13 out of 15, I noticed they missed 1 and 10. And it was prime and composite, and then comparing or equivalent
Which is
fractions.
on our morning work every day.
Mhm.
We have that morning work we do. It's a problem on there every day. List the factors, and then they have to tell whether it's prime or composite. I thought they
Do
were.
you think it was the question?
It was a question
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it was
the one
worded.
I don't know if it's the same for you, but the one that they missed was 16 as a factor of 8. So
Yes.
they got the vocabulary mixed up. They got 2 of the 3 right, and then for the
Well,
third
this is
one,
question number 1.
right. and it says click 3 true statements. So they clicked 2 right ones, and then they also clicked 16.
16 was a factor.
But if you remember on Unit 1 test, they did the same thing. Remember that one question. So it's the wording, you know, understanding the difference between a multiple and a factor, and then because they see the numbers, and yes, there's a relationship, but it's not a multiple of that number.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think, like, as far as, I mean, just kind of not fixing, but like improving that, like.
See, I bet a lot of them chose B. 16 is a factor of 8.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's what Mr.
Yeah.
Wells was saying.
I bet I could click on any of these
Yeah.
13 out of 15s, and that's what they clicked.
Well, I think there were only like, there was only, I think 106 took it. And then so like that was only like 20 kids that chose the correct
It's
answer.
the wording. Because they messed up on the Unit 1 test, too.
But really, it's not. Like, kids should be able to know that 16 is not a factor of 8, you know?
Well, they don't know the difference between factor and multiple.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then... yeah.
That's what we need to hone in on.
Yeah. Because reading it, like, it's not, like, my high flyer should be able to look at that B statement and say, like, no, 16 is not a factor of 8. It's a multiple. In my brain, at least. I don't know what they're thinking, but...
When I thought that,
Exactly.
and I
They got
thought
it
even
wrong.
like they could have reversed it. They could have said 8 is a factor of, if they just reverse those numbers, and they would be 8 is a factor of 16. Like, yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So if I flip it around, oh no, that's not the factor, that's the multiple. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, but you have to have the kids that would get that have to have a deeper DOK.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
they can't, just like when we teach division, if you go the opposite direction, it's multiplication. If it's addition, the opposite way should be subtraction. Some of them can't, even my high flyers, some of them don't ever get that because of that depth of knowledge. It's, you know, some of the high kids are all surface.
That
The
critical thinking.
computation, yeah, that
That-
computation is right at it with some of the high flyers. But
Right.
when it comes
Fundamentals
to
are
the more depth of knowledge, the critical thinking, they don't, yeah.
So do you think like in morning, like do you want to create like maybe more questions that are like that?
Yes.
This is like, I mean, as far as being close to representing what KSA is going to be testing them on and how stuff is worded, like, if this is an accurate way of,
Because that's a green standard,
yeah.
so they will be tested on it,
Right.
yeah.
And it's also this standard we touch on for a month and a half early, and then, like, I mean, it's brought up a few times, but
Never again.
yeah.
Well, I mean, but that's your spiral morning review though.
Right.
Or
Right.
beginning review what does
But
that.
I don't know that there are any multiple, I mean, there are factors,
Yeah.
but no multiples.
It'll say, like, this is a list the fact, like today was like list the factor pairs
Yes.
of 60. They'll list all the factor pairs of 60 fine, and then I can,
No, my class did not, there's a
They won't
lot
find
of
them all.
factors.
oh yeah, my kids missed like the number 3 today. They had to think
See,
really
mine
hard
missed the
about that.
4 times 15.
I feel like 60 is pretty high. Pretty.
Oh.
You
we
forgot
missed that,
one?
too. We missed that one too.
Yeah,
Oh no.
I only had one get them all, Angelo,
Oh, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So I wondered like what.
Well,
I guess
definitely
just
need to
next like because obviously the
I think on a
prime
new
and composite
checkpoints
like what.
and unit assessments, we need to put some of those at the end of them. And then Wells and I were already talking about putting some factor pairs on every single checkout, or not checkout, but checkpoints.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so that they're going to continue to review those because we never visit them again technically. And I feel like the morning work is really easy.
Yep.
Like we
Yeah.
were adding 6 digits today.
Yeah. Also,
That's 4th grade standard, so.
Mhm.
we were also talking about adding things like question 10, just making, I mean, not
Yeah,
exactly
what
like
was
that.
question 10?
That's like,
Just equivalent fractions.
Oh, yeah.
Just that, because that's something that no matter what you're learning about in fractions, like, you need to be able to do that. And that's another thing that we taught for maybe a week and then moved on because the other things in the unit
I
took
feel like
longer.
mine got that.
yeah, I was gonna say even when I was in your room the other day, I felt like that's what I would say there was only a handful of kiddos
Yeah.
that weren't doing that.
What was the percentage on this that missed this one?
They were between 50 and 59 of the kids got it incorrect.
And like,
So 106 kids.
Yeah, that's
So
a
between
lot.
50 and 59.
like
question
that,
was
that's
exactly.
concerning for me teaching fractions if that's what they're going to put. Like, the main 2 ones that I saw was they put D or they put B. Or, like, either, well, obviously,
Oh,
The one that made me upset was D when I saw them click D because I'm
When
like,
they
we've
added.
never,
Yeah. Added
yeah.
to find the equivalent.
But also, if you think about it, in their heads, that might be the same thing.
They
as
were doubling.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I agree. Where you have the questions right here, just click on number one.
Shut my screen.
Okay, now scroll to the bottom.
And yep,
There we go.
and then there are all the kiddos.